It started, dollar allowed to crash, silver will fly high. With gold hitting another record high as the Fed holds rates promising cuts throughout the coming months, we're still pointing our finger at silver. We're pointing our finger at silver and we are waiting patiently for it to follow gold. And now we see just what silver needs. Let's start. This is an article on Yahoo Finance, and the article states it's the only thing that actually matters. A weaker US dollar would help the Dow rocket to 50,000. This brings up, just that headline brings up the selfish part in all of us as silver stackers. We all look at this silver that we've been holding for so long. We all look at this, and part of us really, deep down inside, I know I'm not the only one, part of us thinks, man, if the dollar does tank, this silver is going to be worth a lot more. Selfishly. We don't want that. Of course, we're living through inflation. We really don't want a weak dollar. But let's check out this article. So the article says the Dow Jones Industrial Average could soar 33% to 50,000 if the US dollar breaks down to its lows reached in 2020, according to All-Star Charts founder J.C. Parrott. Parrott said in a recent episode of the podcast Compound and Friends that a weaker US dollar is key to unlocking further gains in the stock market. A weaker US dollar. So we're not the only ones, silver stackers. You could rest easy at night. You're not the only selfish person thinking this. I'm being light, but really, the silver does correlate to the strength of the dollar. Absolutely. When interest rates are higher, that it correlates directly to silver, and it correlates to gold. It's all, here's another piece. It's all metals correlate to the value of the dollar. When people see that the dollar is weak, they don't want to put their money into the dollar. They don't want to put their money into U.S. treasuries. So they go with silver. And that's the nature of the beast. So this article says, if you're a stock market bull and you're making the bet that stocks are going to go higher, it's not so much that you want a weaker dollar. You need a weaker dollar. This is what Parrott says. You need the dollar to be weak. A falling U.S. dollar tends to be a tailwind for stock prices because it results in higher profits for S&P 500 companies, according to Bank of America strategist Savita Subramanian. The article states, our work suggests that every 10% drop in the U.S. dollar, should translate into a 3% benefit to S&P 500 earnings per share via currency translation, all else equal. Really? Subramanian says, economists at Bank of America expect the U.S. dollar will depreciate by 3% on a trade-weighted basis in 2024. It will depreciate by 3%, representing a tailwind for corporate profits and therefore stock prices. Now, when you hear that, I know, are you like me? The first thing you feel is frustration because these bigwigs who are on top of these corporations, it's like a win-win no matter what. It's a win-win. No matter what happens, they're winning. That's really how this translates. Whereas you and I in the trenches with our silver, I shouldn't be holding this semi-numismatic silver when I'm talking about silver. You and I with our silver, just excited about silver bumping up past $24, a $24 an ounce spot price, right? We're excited about that. And these guys really cash in no matter what. So let's keep going. The article says, for Parrott, it's all about the chart. The technical analyst highlighted the key levels he is monitoring on the U.S. dollar index, which measures the strength of the dollar against a basket of rival currencies. After hitting new 18-month lows in December of about 100, Parrott believes a breakdown to the 2020 lows of about 90 would mean huge gains for the stock market. Even when it's weak, it's getting a gain for the stock market. This chart is the only thing that actually matters, Parrott says, explaining that each time the U.S. dollar tumbled from its peak in 2016 and 2020, stocks surged shortly afterwards. More recently, this is just, sorry I have to stop it, this is just so mind-bending because here we are stuck in inflation, and in real life, the dollar is weak and making our life more difficult when these for the S&P 500, it's a win. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Uh, if this chart breaks down and breaks those former highs, and we go back down to the 2020 lows, that's a Dow 50,000, S&P 6,000. Parrot said a jump to 6,000 for the S&P 500 represents potential upside of 25% from current levels, an upside of 25%. So, what the concept that I started with this kind of lighthearted joke of the dollar being weak and, oh, don't we want that so badly? I mean, really, this who this makes me think of is Silver Slayer, because Silver Slayer looks at silver constantly. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. And he's always looking at who's in control of silver and who's in control of the price and who's in control of how much silver we actually get, how much there really is out there, the demand, all that. Check out his channel. He's amazing. And, what this makes me think of is that it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just how the system is set up. And it's where we are right now. Here's another article. This is by Reuters. It says, Wall Street roars again to record highs as rate cut hopes flourish. So this says Wall Street's three major stock indexes on Thursday registered record closing highs for the second day in a row after the Federal Reserve reassured investors about the prospects for rate cuts that will come this year. The announcement was that there will be hopefully three rate cuts coming by the time 2024 closes out. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 269 points. While the S&P 500 gained 2% and NASDAQ advanced 0.3%, the power that Powell has just by making an announcement, right? Just by making an announcement, you see how much the economy shifts and moves. Could you imagine having that power? Just being able to make a statement, and you are really impacting the economy with your words. I mean, nothing has to change. Nothing has to change. 2024 can come and go, and the Fed can keep rates just the way they are, or just talk about it and watch the power of their words impact our economy. And you could see it in the stock market. You could see it actually play out just by the announcement being made. It's really incredible. And this has been going on since this battle of inflation, since we've been in this battle over inflation. So it all tells me that really, I honestly, really, of course, I do not want a weakened dollar. I know the reality of the economy and what a weakened dollar does to the economy, and I know that in reality, silver would go up, and I wouldn't be able to buy it because the dollar would be so weak. So it would actually be the way we all feel for this gold. It's how we all feel for gold right now. It's so expensive, and we're so excited that it's going up, but we can't buy a full ounce. Are you kidding me? It's who can afford that? So yeah, in reality, no, we don't want the dollar to be weak. And the takeaway from this is the amazing reality that even as we here in the trenches, we stack our silver and we hope for the value of silver to increase and go up. There's people on Wall Street and in the stock market who, no matter what, their value is going to go up, even if the dollar increases or decreases. They're going to win. They're going to win out. So it makes me again look at this system that we're in a critical light, and just how I feel our community of silver stackers. That's what we always do. That's something that's always drawn me to stacking silvers. It's not just this frustration with the fiat currency and wanting to have a safe store of wealth in my hands. Yes, all of that, yes. But also, I really appreciate that we look at this world through a critical lens. We're not just blind sheep, just